Afternoon. Just coming from a quick workout, and I want to share something with you guys real quick. It's something that you may or may not know, but I am in the process of becoming a certified life coach, and it is really helping me so much in just my day-to-day life and just helping me be intentional about what I'm doing. And I just wanted to share with you guys, I don't know if you've ever had this situation, but have you ever had something, whether it was something that happened or something somebody said or did, but something, and it just really bothered you, and it was kind of like spiraling around in your head, and you find yourself obsessing over it, thinking about it, maybe dreaming about it, can't get over it type deal, but it really bothers you. And I've personally experienced that, and it's not a fun feeling. And some of the tools that I'm learning as a coach have really helped me see that when I allow that to happen, when I start thinking about or obsessing about whatever the situation is or whatever somebody said or did to me, then that's me actually giving up my control, my power in the situation, and kind of giving it over to someone else. And I have all these thoughts about, what they said or did, and they're moving on, totally not thinking about it, but it's me. I'm doing it to myself. I'm keeping myself in this prison. And so one of the tools that I learned was really about, being aware of my thoughts and being intentional about it. So really looking at whatever happened, what do I think about it? Because whatever happened is just a neutral circumstance. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a fact. It is. But when I associate my thoughts to it, that is what really turns it into something else. And then whatever I'm thinking about that situation, has me feeling a certain kind of way. And then based on however I'm feeling, I take some actions, and then I end up with whatever my new reality is, that result, which may or may not be what I want. And so what I'm learning is that if I want a different reality or a different outcome result, then I need to work on my thoughts. I need to have different thoughts. I need to be more specifically intentional about my thoughts and don't just let them run all over. Thoughts can be like toddlers. I know, I have one. They just run over and do their own thing, but they really need structure. So you really need to control them and guide them into what you want them to do. The same thing with our thoughts. We have to be intentional about it. So I'm learning that regardless of what is going on in my life, I can still choose how I think about it. I can still create my own feeling. Most people who know me know I'm a talker and I'm always smiling. I seem to have a smile all the time. Most people think, oh my goodness, don't things bother you? They do, but I always choose how I'm going to respond to them. I feel like you can either respond with a smile and see the upside and keep moving, or you can be negative, and I don't like being negative. But that's something that I'm learning, to be more intentional about my thoughts. So even when I'm smiling, I'm not like spiraling in the midst of whatever, that's kind of consuming me. I can see the big picture. I can move past it. I can choose what I want my outcome to be. I can choose that. And I can start thinking thoughts that'll get me there, as opposed to thoughts that have me kind of in the midst. Another thing, which was really new for me, that's really helped me a lot too, is to get advice, like mentorship, from my future self. Like, I know where I am, and I know where I want to go. I know where my goals are. And I can imagine my future self who's already there. She's accomplished all the goals that I want. She's doing it. She's living that life. And I can get advice from her and see what would she advise me in the midst of whatever I'm going through. It's almost like, I don't know if you guys remember from high school, and whatever was happening, it was so dramatic, we thought it was the end of the world, and your parents or your friends or whoever would be like, really, it's not that serious. There's so much more in store for you. You have your whole life ahead of you. This little thing is a blip on your radar. And sometimes we forget that when we're in the midst of that, whatever's happening, it really is a blip. It's not the end all be all. It's not the end of the world, and it doesn't define us. We define ourselves, not our circumstances. And how we define ourselves based on how we see ourselves, how we think about ourselves, and then what we do. But we can always create and carve out a new path. We're not stuck in whatever we're in now, whatever choices we made in the past. They don't define us. That's our history, our past. You can't see your future or carve out a future recycling your past. You have to move forward. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. It was on my heart, and hopefully it helped someone. So you guys have a good one. Bye.